gentlemen, here we go. Race number 1. Harry Volsmere and Adam Barker have the front row. Nick Sorensen and Andrew Lauer on the second row. Mike Marshall, Dylan Steinbach on the third row. The return of Yuho in 7th with George Cole in 8th, Cody Kennedy 9th, and Brian Hewitt starts in 10th. Ryan McDaniel, Zach Bache starting 11th and 12th. Nicole Kriesel and Mike Dolling round out the 14-car field here at Hockenheim. Good morning, Tina. How are you this morning? Interesting car choices this morning. Adam Barker in that Lamborghini. As we mentioned, Dylan Steinbach sadly in a Ford. Ryan McDaniel, the lone Mercedes, hoping that power will overcome its turning issues. A few drivers making last-minute adjustments, adding that bit of fuel, making sure they are ready to go. All the drivers are on the grid. They are headed to the start-finish line of this one. Harry Volsmere out front will control the start. Yeah, he's driving the Mercedes this week, Tina, after having some trouble with the Lambo last week. And then, surprisingly, Adam Barker in the Lamborghini this week. Here they come through the final turn. Porsche pace car is on pit road. Harry in control. He fires as they come out of the corner. Green flag is in the air. Turn 1 will definitely be interesting. A lot of the field already single file. Everybody makes it through clean on lap 1. Mike Marshall already on the attack as Dylan Steinbach on the back bumper. Dylan in that Ford. We seriously doubt the engine will survive the race. George Cole has had a problem back behind and has gone to pit road. Let's see if we can see what happened. George getting back on the gas out of the turn, and ouch, hard hit to the inside wall. Left his front clip behind. Harry still out front in the lead. Adam Barker did say that Lamborghini in second place was the fastest car around here. Mike Dolling on the move in that Conliff Racing car. Hey, thank you for the stars, Tina. In big news coming from that Conliff Racing team, they now have a website up, www.conliff-racing.com. Big news coming in next week regarding that team. They have got some big stuff coming. A lot of drivers already testing track limits here this morning. Looks like Nicole Kriesel, Nick Sorensen, and Mike Marshall all have exceeded track limits. Trying to push to the absolute limit. Meanwhile, Harry is opening up a 1-second lead. But they come down to the hairpin. And of course, as we mentioned, the return of former champ Yuho this morning. It has been well over a season since we last saw Yuho on track. Always a force to be reckoned with, currently running in 5th up 2 spots. Will we see Yuho back in victory lane this morning? Mike Dalling still on the attack, up 5 spots into 9th. Cody Kennedy. Oh, Cody goes wide. He gets it recovered, but now Dalling takes 8th and sets his sights on the Ford of Dylan Steinbach. Shouldn't be hard to catch that car. It's likely going to explode at some point. Harry Volsmeer just came out of turn 1, setting the fastest lap so far. Ryan McDaniel has had a problem back behind. Talked about that Mercedes has all the power but does not handle the best. Gets loose through the second to last corner but keeps it out of trouble and gets it rolling again. That part of the track does have a tendency to be really, really slick right in that area. Those last 2 turns have a tendency to bite. Mike Dalling is now almost reeled in Dylan Steinbach. He was several seconds behind, now just 1.7. Dalling really on the attack this morning. The Minister of Defense trying to get it done in race 1. Not far behind him, Zach Bache now up into 9th, up 3 spots. Zach also on the move in that Porsche. But Harry continuing to extend that lead. Dylan Steinbach has had a problem back behind. There you see the Ford of Dylan Steinbach, second to last turn. Into the last turn, he was already loose. Hits that outside rumble strip, and oh, Mike Dalling barely avoids it. Did look like, I believe that was Zach Bache that got into the side of Dylan. We did warn Dylan that car would bite. Dylan Steinbach and Brian Hewitt both on pit road. Hewitt had a moment before that one. There's Hewitt coming into that infield section, just overshoots into the dirt, across the track, into the wall. George Collin came back out on track after his earlier incident, now has had another. And again, in that second to last turn, another car just snaps loose. That set those last 2 turns, as we mentioned, extremely slick. That hairpin also has a tendency to be slick as you get back on the power, but the track is, you're so slow, coming through the hairpin that it's easily manageable. Adam Barker in second, 1.9 seconds behind, still trying to reel in a hard-charging Harry. Nick Sorensen and Andrew Lau battling third and fourth. Yuho closing the gap on both of them. Back in fifth. Mike Marshall in that Conliff Racing Ferrari also on the attack in sixth. Hey, good morning, Tessa. Mike Dalling, the Minister of Defense, has been on the attack all morning, up 7 spots, but not far behind. Zach Beisch up 4 spots into 8th, and it looks like minimal damage after contact earlier with Dylan Steinbach's car. Harry has led since the drop of the green flag, and they're unable to reel him in at the moment. Brian Hewitt getting lapped by Nick Sorensen and Andrew Lau into the hairpin. Hewitt had that problem earlier, has repaired. Meanwhile, managing to stay out of trouble, Nicole, that's what she said. Kriesel is starting to move up. She is already up into 12th. Trying to run down Ryan McDaniel in 11th. Ryan recovering after that spin. Ryan, the first of many to spin in that final section, those final 2 turns. A lot of these drivers will be competing in the 24 Hours of Daytona this coming week. Yuho had a brief off track a moment ago. Let's see what happened. Yuho closing in on a lap car. Just a bit wide through those final 2 turns. Doing what he has to do to make sure that car stays planted. Harry's dominance may be coming to an end. Adam Barker is closing in. That Lamborghini now 1.67 seconds behind the leader. Good morning, Kevin. Yuho has now gotten past Mike Marshall. Nick Sorensen has had a problem. Nick was holding on to third place as he goes down into the hairpin. Whoa, looks like there may have been a little bump. Sorensen goes around, recovers it, but loses a lot of positions. Kevin, hope you're staying warm up there, and we're going to try and send the weather back to you, buddy. Harry Volschmier's lead, which had been up over 2 seconds at one point, is shrinking quickly. Adam Barker in that Lambo on the attack. Now down to 1 1/4 seconds. Mike Marshall currently in 5th, but under attack from his teammate Mike Dolling. Nick Sorensen went a little wide through that turn, managed to hold on to it though. Sorensen, after being the top 3 the majority of this race, is definitely trying to make up some ground here. And Harry's lead continues to shrink as Adam Barker and Hello Kitty are coming quickly. And we have got quite a battle as they come by Brian Hewitt. Mike Marshall in 5th, Mike Dolling in 6th, Nick Sorensen 7th, Zach Bache in 8th, all right there together. Marshall cleared the lap car a little bit quicker, giving himself some breathing room here. Sorensen trying to get a run on Dolling, but Dolling shoots to the inside around the lap car. Just over 5.5 minutes left to go. This is really heating up at the back. Meanwhile, Harry Volsmeer's lead continues to shrink. Adam now 9/10 of a second back. Looks like the Lambo is faster on the long run here this morning. Andrew Lau now all alone in 3rd, has pulled a gap on 4th place Yuho. But it is great to see Yuho back on track here this morning. The lap car of Nicole Creasel is coming into play with this battle for the lead. Nicole moves over, Harry gets by clean. Adam has a little bit better of a run past her and now is just 3/4 of a second behind. They have a big gap, almost 7 seconds back to Andrew Lau. But Adam Barker is there right on the bumper of the leader. Mike Marshall, Mike Dolling, Nick Sorensen still battling with Zach Bache not far behind. And here we go, Mike versus Mike through the hairpin. The BMW of Mike Dolling has the advantage, finally clears with the Ferrari of Mike Marshall right on his bumper. And here comes the Beamer of Nick Sorensen. Mike Marshall shoots down to the inside. Oh! Mike Marshall has had a problem. There they were battling. Mike Marshall in the Ferrari shoots down to the inside, drifts up, and just a little contact sends him for a spin. In heavy traffic, took him a minute to get the car turned around and lost a lot of track position. Harry still holds the lead at the moment over Barker. Andrew Lau has 3rd, Yuho in 4th, Dolling now in 5th, has pulled a gap on Sorensen in 6th. Zach Bache now up 5 spots into 7th, trying to reel in Nick Sorensen ahead. Mike Marshall has lost a lot of ground back in 8th. Cody Kennedy currently in 9th. Ryan McDaniel has moved now into the top 10. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel now has 11th. Brian Hewitt in 12th. Dylan Steinbach in the Ford all the way back in 13th. And George Cole holding on back in 14th. Top 2 still sitting 3/4 of a second back as they get the white flag. Adam hanging everything out here, trying to close the gap. Andrew Lau sitting back in 3rd, comes around Ryan McDaniel. Yuho in 4th. Doling still holds on to 5th. Zach Bache has now made his way into 6th, getting past Nick Sorensen. Zach has really stepped up his road racing game coming into this new season. Adam Barker has gotten right to the bumper of Harry Volsmere as they head into the infield section of the track. Things are going to get dicey here. Oh, the back end trying to step out on Harry, but he holds on to it. We have seen so many cars this morning spin in these last 2 turns. Both drivers just need to hold on to it. And out of the final turn, here comes Harry. He will pull off the win in race 1. Adam Barker comes home a very close 2nd. Andrew Lau will finish in 3rd. Andrew Lau having a very successful weekend after having won his split in the 2.4-hour Roar race. Coming out here starting Sunday morning with the 3rd. Let's talk to him. Andrew, you got the win in the Roar. Now you come out here with a podium to start the morning. That's a great weekend so far.
Yeah, pretty good weekend. But my apologies to Nick for kind of hitting him in the hairpin there. He was much quicker than me, so I think he deserved to be up here, not me.
Well, man, you managed to hold on. It did get a little bit tight there, but, man, you were coming through that hairpin faster than a lot of other cars this morning. You really had the setup and the maneuverability out of that turn.
Yeah, Porsche's really good through the tighter bits. Nick was much faster than me through the last sector, so it was a little bit of ping-ponging there.
Well, you managed to come home with a 3rd, and congratulations on the Roar win, buddy. A great weekend.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it.
Adam Barker coming home in 2nd. Adam, last week we talked about the Lambo being a very dangerous car this season. You kind of proved that wrong this morning. The second half of that run was all you.
Yeah, it was an interesting race. I'm not sure if Harry was just chilling there, but it was a really good race. Harry was super fast off the start and then just controlled the pace from then, I think. So be interesting to see what happens in the next race.
It was obvious the second half of that race, almost at the 10-minute mark, you just started reeling him in. Is the Lambo the better car on the long run?
Maybe. It felt really good around the track. It rotates really well. I'm not sure about tire wear, so that might be an issue. later on into the race, especially if Harry's really pushing to start with. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens through the field. So we've got to get from P6 to the top, and the Lambo's not one of the fastest in the straight, so it's going to be interesting to see what we can do. Hopefully we can pick up a few spots on the line and come through it clean.
Hope so, man. Great run so far this morning. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Adam Barker comes home in second, and Harry gets the win. Harry, congratulations. That was an awesome win, but it looked like that last lap, the back end of the car was twitching a little bit on throttle.
Yeah, it was, but not too bad.
It did look...
Keep Adam off.
Yeah, you managed to hold him off. Adam had a bit of a run coming the second half of that race, but man, that Porsche looked like it was a ton of fun around here.
Yeah, it was okay. I tried the Lambo, but I had it didn't work well, so I took the Porsche. It felt easier and was as fast.
It definitely looked like it, but going into race 2, you've got to start from 7th. Can you come through the field to get to sweep the morning?
Well, if they help, but only then.
Well, man, good luck and congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
So Harry wins race 1, but we'll have to start from race 2. Kevin, cold. We're cold. The pups are actually loving it. We brought them in last night, and they were not fans of being in the house. They wanted, it was, I guess, too warm for them. Of course, being, Huskies, they love this weather. And let's see if we can get a word with a driver we have not talked to in a very, very long time. Hey, Yuo, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. Hello, Doug.
Hey, Yuo, it has been a while. You have been missed, but you definitely haven't lost anything. You were fast this morning.
Well, I haven't been racing, I think, in 14 months, actually, so...
Wow!
Yeah. Considering that, fair enough. At least I stayed on track.
Yeah, you really did. You came home 4th, but, man, just awesome to see you back out here, and knowing that you've been off for 14 months, that was an impressive run.
Well, it was staying out of trouble, and it's really nice to be back and see all the guys. No worries there. So I see there's also very fast new members on the group.
Definitely is, but they are. I think some of them will be no match for you, and looking forward to seeing you, Giancarlo, and Adam battling it out again next week.
Yeah, well, to be seen when I'm battling anything, but yeah.
Well, man, it's awesome to see you back out there. A great way to start the morning, and hopefully we talk to you in Victory Lane this afternoon.
Thanks, Doug. Nice to be back. Cheers.
Cheers. Yuho is back. Yeah, the pups are definitely fun. All right, here we go. Race number 2, the top 7 inverted. So Nick Sorensen and Zach Bache have the front row. Mike Dolling and Yuo on the second row. Andrew Lau, Adam Barker on the third row. Harry Volsmir will start from 7th. Mike Marshall in 8th. Cody Kennedy, Ryan McDaniel round out the top 10. Nicole Kriesel and Dylan Steinbach starting 11th and 12th. Brian Hewitt and George Cole rounding out the 14-car field. Dylan Steinbach finished 11th in race 1. Really impressive when you consider the handicap he has of driving the Ford. Zach, get another paint job. I thought you were Harry for a minute. Here we go. Pace car drops in. Out of the final turn, Sorensen fires green flag in the air. Had no problems in race 1 going through turn 1, will we this time? Everybody makes it through turn 1 clean. Turn 1 here is a bit tricky. No, I stand corrected. Looks like Hewitt and Nicole had a problem. There's Brian Hewitt in the Porsche. Gets out of turn 1 a little bit better. Gets into Nicole, and they both get some of the inside wall. Nick Sorensen has the lead. Zach right on his bumper. Mike Dolling and Yuho looks to the inside of the Minister of Defense. Got some of that curbing, though. And now Andrew Lau managed to shoot by on the high side. Lau now to 4th. Harry Volsmir is already... Oh! Adam and Harry get into each other. Harry drifts it through the infield. Let's take a look at that. See what our blimp looks like here. And oh, Harry just checked up sooner than Adam expected. Harry managed to recover that, keep it out of the wall and get going, but lost a ton of positions. Andrew Lau now in trouble as Yuho comes back by. The Slayer is on full attack this morning. Lau gets the inside as they come through the hairpin and manages to hold on to 4th. Meanwhile, by some miracle, Dylan Steinbach is now up 3 positions into 9th. Zach Beige still holds on to 2nd. Sorensen in the lead, not pulling away at the moment. Zach in that Porsche doing a great job of holding on to it. As you heard Harry say earlier, that Porsche really feels good. It's not, as we've seen in the past, it's not trying to kill the driver every lap. Porsche doing really, really good this season. In fact, it seems as if this season that Porsche is one of the best cars in the field. Adam Barker in the Lambo, though, just set the fastest lap, and here's a familiar sight. Adam Barker battling with Yuho. Adam takes 5th. Harry Volsmir, after being up front, is now back in 10th, closing the gap on Steinbach in 9th. Cody Kennedy just ahead in 8th. Yuho looking to the inside as they go to the hairpin. Will it be enough? They're side by side out of the turn. Adam still trying to fight him off. Adam clear into the kink. No, Yuho sent it deep, but Adam finally clears out of the kink. Zach Beige in 2nd, now under attack from Mike Dolling as Nick Sorensen has pulled a 1.5 second gap. Andrew Lau sits in 4th, Adam Barker in 5th, Yuo in 6th, Mike Marshall in 7th, Cody Kennedy in 8th, Dylan Steinbach in 9th, and Harry in 10th, but Harry is closing. George Cole holding on to 11th. He had a lot of problems in race 1, but doing a heck of a lot better here in race 2. Ryan McDaniel sits in 12th. Brian Hewitt in 13th. Nicole, that's what she said. Kriesel back in 14th. And Brian Hewitt has gone to pit road. Harry Volsmere has gone off track again. There's Harry down to the inside, gets a bump as he gotten past 2 cars, but manages to quickly recover it. After winning race number 1, Harry Volsmere is having a lot of trouble in race 2. Yeah. Kevin, this is a really fun track. Although, as we mentioned in race 1, those final 2 turns are slick, and in officials, turn 1 does have a tendency to get messy. Sorensen now 1.8 second lead over Zach, and Zach may be in trouble. Mike Dolling, Adam Barker, Andrew Lau all right there. Yuo and Mike Marshall just behind. Cody Kennedy, Dylan Steinbach, and Harry Volsmere still battling it out. Ryan McDaniel now up to 11th. George back to 12th. Nicole in 13th. Hewitt back out on track in 14th. The battle is really on from second on back as Adam Barker is battling with Andrew Lau. Lau has the inside through the kink, but Adam still to the inside. Lau just sends it a little deeper. Mike Dolling still trying to attack on Zach Bache. Ryan McDaniel has had a problem back behind. And Mike Dolling now to second. Zach trying to attack back. Can't get there. Let's see what happened to Ryan. Ryan in the Mercedes. All that power down into the... Oh! Ryan just missed the braking point for the hairpin. He gets it quickly recovered. Zach still lurking. Adam Barker and Andrew Lau still battling. Adam is really cutting it. Yuo now shoots to the inside on Adam. This is allowing Mike Marshall to close back in. Meanwhile, Harry Volsmere has gotten back past Dylan and Cody, moving up to 8th. Andrew Lau had a brief off track a moment ago, but it was just enough. Oh no, Adam's around. Adam quickly recovers. Zach Bache is around as well. And Lau snuck back by as they stacked up, back up into 3rd. Let's take a look at this one. From the blimp, there is the Lambo of Adam Barker. Zach Bache just behind. Adam gets loose. Blimp not in a good position. Adam goes off into that left-hander. On power, gets loose right in front of Zach. Zach goes around. But UO and Andrew Lau really capitalize. UO pulled over to drop back. Let's take a look at the pass between UO and Andrew. There may have been some contact on this one. Looks like there might have been a little bit of a bump, but UO definitely overshot that. From the blimp, let's see if we can see a contact between the two. No, UO just massively overshoots it. Has to gather it up, but Andrew Lau still on line. Manages to keep going. Nick Sorensen still has the lead, followed by Mike Dolling in second. Lau now to third. Adam Barker in fourth. UO in fifth. Mike Marshall has caught up to him in sixth. Zach Bache now way back in seventh and has to deal with Harry Volsmere in eighth. Dylan Steinbach back in ninth. Cody Kennedy in 10th. George Cole in 11th. Ryan McDaniel has drifted back to 12th. Nicole Kriesel in 13th. And Brian Hewitt back in 14th. Drivers will have to make a fuel stop here this morning. Will we see tire changes? Track temperature only about 80 degrees, so it's not going to eat the tires up completely. But we could very well see some tire changes here this morning, especially front tires on some of these cars, just to have that little extra grip here. Yeah, Kevin, my coffee is being kept warm at the moment, so I can have some when I get done. Nick Sorensen goes around Brian Hewitt. Brian now a lap down. Mike Dolling in second. Had a 2-second gap on Andrew Lau and crew, but that is shrinking as Lau is gaining on Dolling. Adam Barker in fourth, UO still in fifth, Mike Marshall still in striking distance in sixth. Harry Volsmere has gotten past Zach Bache. Zach had a problem. Zach coming through turn one, just gets loose. Light impact to the outside wall. He gets rolling again, but lost several positions. Harry has definitely been on the attack since that lap one incident with Adam Barker. Harry now up to 7th, is closing in on Mike Marshall in 6th. The gap currently 5.3 seconds, but shrinks every single turn. Ryan, your mom says get on it. Attack. Go. You've got all that Mercedes power. Nick Sorensen's lead at the moment, 4.1 seconds. Dolling is starting to reel him in little by little. Andrew Lau sitting in 3rd, Yuho in 4th, Adam in 5th. A little blink there out of Yuho as they come by lap traffic down at the hairpin. Sorensen's lead really starting to shrink now. Have to wonder if he's in conservation mode. Yuho sitting in 4th, Adam in 5th. We saw Adam really start to gain time late in the run in race number 1. He was the fastest car on track after about 10 minutes, but at the moment it looks like he might be struggling just a little bit. He cannot close that gap. Zach Bache is the first driver in for pit stops. Zach hoping to, let's see if he's taking tires here. Track official in the way makes it really tricky. And it looks like Zach may have retired. Mike Dolling in 2nd, still trying to hold off Andrew Lau and Yuho. Meanwhile, closing the gap on Sorensen. Sorensen now just 3.5 seconds ahead. And look like Sorensen got a little loose coming through there. We talked about it in race 1. Those final 2 turns are extremely slick. It is so easy to turn the car around, as we saw multiple times. Harry Volsmere has now made his way back up into 7th. Mike Marshall in 6th. Harry is closing the gap at the moment. Yuho sits back in 4th. Adam Barker in 5th, less than a second apart. Mike Marshall losing ground to that top 5 at the moment. Dylan Steinbach currently in 8th place despite driving a Ford. Honestly, 20 minutes into the race, we're surprised the Ford is still running. And it does look like Zach is coming back out on track. Does look like a 4-tire stop there. Hey, good morning, Steven. How did you do in the roar, Kevin? Yuho sits 4th, Adam in 5th, Mike Marshall in 6th, Harry Volsmere in 7th, Dylan Steinbach 8th, Cody Kennedy 9th, George Cole is 10th, Ryan McDaniel now up to 11th. Ryan goes a little bit wide there, but keeps her going the right direction. Does look like he got a slowdown. Now, interesting note there, Steven. I've got multiple broadcasts at the Rock this week, and always a good show. Ryan McDaniel saying his car is angry. We've mentioned that Mercedes has a ton of power in the straights, and out of the turn it is tough to beat, but in the corners it does not like turning. Mike Dalling was gaining ground on Sorensen, but Sorensen has now opened up a gap of 4.4 seconds. Meanwhile, Andrew Lau is less than a second behind second place Mike Dalling. Yuho and Adam Barker both closing in on the top 3 as well. Mike Marshall now under attack as Harry Volsmere is closing in. Oh, Harry just shoots to the inside, into the hairpin. Marshall tries to cross over back to the inside, but Harry on the power and gone. We will start seeing drivers hit pit road very soon. Harry, after that early incident with Adam Barker, has fought his way back. He got bumped off track a second time and up to 6, not to mention the fact he is only 5 seconds behind Barker in 5th, and he is gaining. Nick Sorensen, meanwhile, is starting to have to battle lap traffic as he goes around Ryan McDaniel in 12th. And Dalling is definitely in trouble. Here comes the Porsche of Andrew Lau. Adam Barker currently sits back in 5th. Oh, Ryan McDaniel has had a big problem. We talked about that Mercedes doesn't like to turn. Looks like he was going wide, trying to let the leaders by, and it tried to step out on him. He managed to keep it from spinning, but man, lost a lot of ground. Andrew Lau, the first car in the top 5, headed to pit road. Andrew hoping to pit a little bit early, get tires here. Maybe not. This may be a fuel-only stop. The car has not gone up for tires yet. No tires, fuel only for Andrew Lau. That may force the hand of the leaders at this point. Likely to not see any tire changes. Yeah, that is a bit of a hit, Kevin. By some miracle, the Ford driven by Dylan Steinbach is still running and now up into 7th place. I do believe that makes Dylan the biggest mover at the moment, followed by George Cole, who just cracked into the top 10. Nicole Kriesel has had a problem back behind. Down into the hairpin. Just overshoots the braking point. Has to almost bring that Ferrari to a stop to get it to turn. Mike Dolling looking out his window, sees Sorensen pulling away, and in his mirror he sees Yuho on the attack. Yuho now 1.8 seconds behind. Mike Marshall now up into 6th, trying to reel Harry back in. Harry now back in the top 5 on the attack on Adam Barker. Closing in, he's now 4.7 seconds behind Barker. And now that Barker is battling with Mike Dolling, Harry might be able to reel him in. No, Dolling is coming to pit road. Will we see a tire change for Mike? Does look like Nicole took tires. Mike Dolling does not appear to be taking tires here. This is a fuel-only stop. Meanwhile, Andrew Lau just snuck by after taking a fuel-only stop. Cody Kennedy now on his way in. Just over 20 minutes left to go in race 2, and starting to see pit stops underway. Meanwhile, Yuo now to 2nd, Adam to 3rd, Harry in 4th, still closing in on Adam. Now 4.1 seconds behind. Sorensen heads to pit road. The leader is in. Yuho in second. Adam Barker in third, also in. Likely fuel only stops for these drivers. Harry Volsmir stays out an extra lap. Dylan Steinbach in sixth, also staying out. Andrew Lau had already pitted. Lau's short pit strategy is paying off here. Sorensen comes out just ahead of Lau, and Adam Barker comes out way behind. Only Harry Volsmir and Dylan Steinbach left to pit. And George Cole, who has made his way up to ninth. George Cole now headed to pit road. Will Harry come in this time? Harry Volsmir is in. Dylan Steinbach is around. Dylan in the Ford in that infield section, just a little too much. It snaps loose. He does manage to keep it out of the wall. Dylan now on pit road. Adam Barker is back on pit road. That is a strange turn of events to see Adam back in. And looks like a drive-through penalty for Adam Barker. Nick Sorensen is back in the lead, but he has got a problem. Andrew Lau right behind. And Ryan McDaniel is in trouble again. He is being attacked by his angry car. Headed into the infield, the car just snaps loose on him. Wow, very close call there as well. Harry Volsmir now in third place. Harry had a very quick pit stop and has had a quick race car since he started charging back up. Harry trying to close the gap now on Andrew Lau and Nick Sorensen. What a comeback. Harry got into that incident on lap 1, got bumped all the way back to 11th, fought his way back up to 8th, got bumped off track again, and has fought his way back to 3rd. Meanwhile, Andrew Lau with a short pit strategy here this morning. Now right behind the leader, Nick Sorensen. Harry currently sitting in 3rd, Yuho in 4th, Mike Marshall now in 5th. But Adam Barker wants the top 5 again. and he is going to take 5th. Ryan McDaniel in trouble again. That left-hander bit him a couple of laps ago. He goes completely around. Gets it off the track before George Cole gets to him, but does get rolling. Lau and Sorensen still battling. And Harry Volsmir in 3rd just set the fastest lap of the race. Harry has been on the attack all since lap 1, late into lap 1. Has gone from 10th to 8th, back to 10th. And now to 3rd. And he may not be out of this yet with 13 and a half minutes to go. He is just 9 seconds out of the lead. Last time by, he was over a second faster than the top 2. What a run Harry has for a comeback. Hey, good morning, JR. Yeah, Kevin, that big ball of fire in the sky appeared briefly this morning, but is completely gone for us too. Mike Marshall is coming back down pit road. Hey, doing good, JR. How the heck are you? Lau and Sorensen still battling up front. 12 minutes to go. Adam Barker still trying to reel in Yuo. And Harry still trying to close the gap on the leaders. Although Harry may be in trouble, Yuo has caught him. You heard Yuo say between races it's been 14 months since he's been behind the wheel. And I would honestly say he has not missed a beat. Yuo's still showing he knows how to get it done here. That's true, Kevin. Hey, congratulations, JR. I did not realize it had already been that long. Gosh, it seems like just yesterday you said she was pregnant again. Harry still closing in on the top 2. Now the gap is 8.7 seconds. Lau has been looking for a move on Sorensen for quite a while. If they battle for more than 1 or 2 corners, Harry is going to gain a ton of ground here. Yuo in fourth, still trying to reel in Harry. Now 1.5 seconds back as Harry has cranked it up another notch. Mike Marshall still sits in 7th. Dylan Steinbach in 8th. Cody Kennedy in 9th. Zach Bache has managed to get himself back into the top 10. And if Sorensen pulls off the win this morning, he may very well take the points lead with Giancarlo not being here. Andrew Lau also with 2 podium finishes will be up there battling with Sorensen for that points lead. Lau has been on fire here recently, had problems in race 1 at Daytona, but won race 2 at Spa. Here we go. And don't forget, Lau did win his split of the Roar Friday night. JR, I got 4. I can't say much. Looks like the lap car of George Cole will come into play here with this battle for the lead. George sliding over out of the final turn, lets the top 2 get by. Sorensen got a better run out of the final turn. And a little bobble for Sorensen through turn 1. And Lau right back to the bumper. Also, Harry has further closed the gap. It is now 6.9 seconds. Harry is definitely closing in. He is, on average, a second faster than the top 2 the last 4 or 5 laps. So the more Sorensen and Lau battle, the better chance that Harry is going to be up here battling once again. And can Sorensen even hold Lau off? The Porsches have been extremely good here this morning. You see just how much shorter the turns are in the Porsche, and it is a bit more planted. That is a big surprise to say the Porsche more planted than the Beamer, but Andrew Lau is proving it. As is Harry Volsmeer in third. Zach Bache has now made his way up into 9th. Cody Kennedy has made his way to 10th. George Cole, after a difficult race 1, has fought his way up to 11th in race 2. Brian Hewitt holds on to 12th. Ryan McDaniel, a rough race number 2, back to 13th, and Nicole in 14th. Harry Volsmir is now 5.9 seconds behind the leaders, and he is charging. Harry won race number 1 here. Had all those problems early in race 2, has fought his way back up into the top 3 and closing the gap quickly on the top 2. And I have a feeling the moment Andrew Lau makes the attack on Sorensen, the gap is going to close even quicker. Sorensen going by the lap car of Brian Hewitt. Sorensen cleared the lap car a lot quicker than Andrew Lau did, and a little bit of a gap here. Lau using the slingshot off the other Porsche. Harry Volsmir is now 5 seconds behind. Lau has closed right back up to Sorensen's back bumper. Harry is gaining like crazy on these top 2. Yuo back in 4th, Adam Barker in 5th. Mike Dolling in 6th, Mike Marshall in 7th, Dylan Steinbach in 8th, Zach Bache in 9th, Cody Kennedy currently running in 10th. Harry 4.9 seconds behind and closing. Lau still within striking distance of the leader. Yuo had been able to hang with Harry for a while, but now is 4 seconds back as Harry sets a dominating pace here. Defending champ Adam Barker currently sitting in 5th, Dolling in 6th. And Lau finally got a move, but he goes wide. Lau off in the dirt, Sorensen back to the lead. Sorensen now in the lead. Andrew Lau in 2nd. White flag in the air one more time around. Can Sorensen hold him off? And the even bigger concern, one mistake is going to put Harry right back there. Harry now just 2.7 seconds behind. And closing rapidly. Lau has to find a way to attack without causing them to lose any more time. Harry now just 2.6 seconds back. Lau right to the bumper as they come out of the hairpin. Sorensen gets the better exit out of the hairpin and is pulling away. Harry now 2.5 seconds back. They battle. Sorensen is around. Andrew Lau has the lead, but Harry just 1.6 seconds back. Lau just a few more turns. He cannot make a mistake. Sorensen has dropped to 5th. Yuo now in 3rd. Andrew Lau holds off a hard-charging Harry Volsmir to win race 2. Harry comes home in 2nd, Yuo in 3rd. Let's see what happened to Sorensen. Sorensen comes into the left-hander. Oh, Ryan McDaniel trying to get out of the way. Backs into Sorensen. And Sorensen can't get grip. Ends up doing a donut trying to recover. Let's talk to our top 3, starting with Yuho. Yuho, you're back and pulling off podiums again already.
Well, that's not actually true. Nick should have it, but there was, I guess, that last lap incident. So yeah, I'm on podium. But cool, yeah, cool.
Well, I gotta say, you looked fast out there today. Obviously couldn't hang with Harry there at the end, but man, still quick and in position to take advantage of another person's chaos. So.
Yeah, it was really fun. Although I realized that I have resetted all my buttons and all that, so the pit crew changed my tires and did everything because I couldn't guide them at all. So.
Oh. Well, get that fixed, and hopefully we see you back next week at Charlotte, buddy.
Thanks. Talk to you later.
See ya. Harry comes home in 2nd place. Harry, that was by far the most awesome comeback I think I have ever seen. You got bumped off out of the top 10 early. You got bumped again and still come back to finish 2nd. And the last 5-10 laps, you were over a second faster than the leaders.
Yeah, but it didn't have to go that fast. So it didn't matter. Well, it didn't surprise to get to 2P3, now 2, but it should have been 3. Well, just surprised, nice. It was a night drive alone, so I didn't have any trouble.
Yeah, and you were flying around the track. I was watching the times. There was a couple of times you were almost 2 seconds faster than the leader, and you had the fastest lap of the day as well, I believe.
Oh, well, that's nice.
That was just an awesome comeback, Harry. Great job, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Harry comes home in 2nd, but Andrew Lau pulls off the win. Andrew, that was one heck of a win, but I have to ask the obvious question. That last 5 laps, how much were you sweating with Harry coming?
Oh, to be honest, I wasn't paying attention to Harry. I was looking at Nick in front the whole time. Like the previous race, it was a ping pong thing. I would catch him in the tighter corners, but he would take off on me on the high speed. That's a shame. It's a shame what happened the last couple laps.
It really was, man. You had you guys put on one heck of a show, and you guys were just constantly battling up there. You got to the lead one with a couple laps to go, and then went off in the sand. Nick ends up reclaiming the lead. It was just a lot of back and forth between you two.
Yeah, it was a battle. I sort of gave him the place back because I felt bad for him into running into Nicole, but also I just ran it into the dirt. But second time, I couldn't do anything about it.
Well, still, you get the win, and if my math is right, with Giancarlo not being here and Nick having problems, I think you'll jump into the points lead.
Oh, that's amazing. Still a long season, though, so still a lot of work to be done.
Well, definitely so, but great job today, man. Congratulations, a win and a podium, and congratulations on the Roar win.
Thanks again, Doug. Appreciate it.
Andrew Lau has an amazing morning at Hockenheim. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to come back 7:30 Eastern tonight. We will have BRR Cup Series, and this afternoon at 4 Eastern, we will have the HTSAI Community Hunt. If you're playing Call of the Wild the Hunter, you're welcome to join us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Have a great day, everybody.